Since the fall of the Roman Empire, repeated attempts have been made to achieve the elusive goal of European unity. Justinian, Charlemagne, Otto I, Charles V, and Napoleon all sought a confederation of Europe largely through the mechanism of the Holy Roman Empire. During the 20th century, the Axis powers attempted to dominate Europe with their own take on a restoration of the Roman Empire. Nineteenth century Europe was a fragmented continent, divided between small principalities and states, which saw many revolutionary movements and changes. By 1871, Italy was united by Giuseppe Garibaldi, and in the north of Europe, the Prussian Prime Minister Otto von Bismarck forged the fragmented Germanic states into a new country called Germany under Prussian leadership. Bismarck started and won 2 wars which made his German state the dominant power in the continent. Austria was defeated in 1866 in a quick 7-week campaign, and later France was defeated in 1871 after a 6-month conflict. To further humiliate France, Bismarck arranged to have the Prussian king Wilhelm I crowned German emperor or Kaiser, Caesar, in the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles, south of Paris, declaring the establishment of the Second Reich of the German people. Shortly after the death of Wilhelm I, Wilhelm II became the new Kaiser in 1888. One of his first acts was to dismiss the architect of the new German state, Bismarck. Without Bismarck's guiding hand, Germany was soon plunged into World War I. By 1918, the new German Empire was in ruins, defeated, and impoverished. The Second Reich is dead. Subsequently, largely under pressure from France, the Treaty of Versailles imposes crushing and humiliating terms on Germany, making economic recovery from the war very difficult. Through the 1920s, Germany, under the Weimar Republic, experienced a period of great social liberalism, as did Italy. At this time, there was a growing presence of leftist philosophy and extreme socialism, somewhat due to the communist regime which had taken over Russia. This resulted in the development of a marked social tension between the socialist left and the conservative right. Matters rose to a head as a consequence of the Great Economic Depression of the 1930s. In Italy, a young journalist, Benito Mussolini, began a movement to counter communist influences. In 1921, he founded the Fascist Party. In addition to the black shirts that identified the party's supporters, they adopted as their symbol the emblem of authority of Imperial Rome, the fasces. Mussolini had grown up imagining himself a successor to the Caesars. On October 22, 1922, King Victor Emmanuel III calls upon Mussolini to form a government. To quell the riots that are overtaking much of Italy, Mussolini is granted emergency powers and is soon declared the dictator of Italy. In 1929, the Italian government signed a series of agreements known as the Lateran Treaty, whereby Italy recognized papal sovereignty over Vatican City, and the Roman Catholic Church became the official state religion. In Germany, the Parliament of the Weimar Republic is hamstrung by the many competing parties. The Depression has hit Germany very hard. Financial deprivation and runaway inflation combined with a fear of the far left spawned anger and a call for order in society. Out of nowhere, a formerly obscure Austrian artist and war veteran, leading a party filled with anger toward those it blamed for Germany's problems, rises to power. In 1933, Adolf Hitler is asked to form a government. Once in power, all opposition is brutally swept aside. The Third Reich of the German people has arrived. In 1936, the Rome-Berlin axis is formed. Hitler and Mussolini agree to coordinate their foreign policy. As it was since the days of Charlemagne and Otto the Great, the German-speaking peoples and those of Italy tie their destinies together. Although the Nazis and the fascists were far from being religious, efforts were made to reach agreements with the Roman Catholic Church, which still held some sway with European populations. The Church was then limited by the two dictators. While it is very difficult even to compare the Roman Empire with its power and stability and longevity to the rather inept and unstable Mussolini, this new alliance did not shy away from its references to Rome and its symbolism. In addition to the fasces, Mussolini in 1932 ordered that the handshake be replaced with the Roman salute. Many supporters began to call him Divine Caesar. In Germany as well, allusions to the Holy Roman Empire were frequent as Hitler spoke about the need to unite all Europeans under one tent. By claiming for his government the mantle of the Third Reich, Hitler attempted to position himself within the larger context of German and European history. In his mind, Hitler's 1,000-year Reich would serve as a natural conclusion of a process that he traced back to the coronation of Charlemagne in 800. In Hitler's own mind, he was connected with Charlemagne and the dream of a unified Europe under German domination. This is reflected in a comment he made to Albert Speer in reference to the location of his mountain residence at Oberschlausberg, that overlooked Mount Untersberg, which according to the legends is the place where Charlemagne sleeps, waiting to rise again with his knights and restore a glorious new Reich. You see the Untersberg over there? It is no accident I have my residence opposite it. Clearly, in the minds of Hitler and Mussolini, there was the greater goal of establishing a unified Europe as a restoration of the glory of a unified Roman Empire. Their efforts, of course, resulted in the horror of World War II. The Rome-Berlin axis collapsed in rubble in the very war they started, leaving tens of millions dead and many more homeless and destitute, and a continent in ruin. The sixth attempt to restore the Empire of Rome and the 1,000-year Reich had ended. I'm Stuart Wachowiz for Tomorrow's World Viewpoint.
If you would like to receive a free interactive report on this subject from Tomorrow's World Analysis, visit tomorrowsworldviewpoint.org or click on the link in the description. Subscribe and click the notification bell to receive updates about new content. Visit tomorrowsworld.org for more articles, telecasts and booklets.